Hello, everyone. India's budget shock. India's Union Budget 2026 has triggered sharp reactions inside the country. Markets reacted negatively after the government announced higher taxes on derivatives trading and offered limited relief to foreign investors. Within hours, stock indices fell, hurting retail investors and pension funds. Politically, opposition parties accused the government of ignoring unemployment, rural distress, and rising inequality. Supporters argue the budget focuses on manufacturing, infrastructure, and long-term stability. On the ground, young Indians are asking one question: where are the jobs? Manufacturing promises sound strong, but hiring remains slow, and urban living costs are rising fast. India's growth story is strong globally, but domestic frustration is quietly growing, especially among youth and middle-class families. Pakistan is dealing with one of its deadliest internal security escalations in years. In Balochistan province, separatist militants carried out coordinated attacks on security forces and infrastructure. Dozens were killed, including civilians, soldiers, and police. Balochistan has long accused Islamabad of economic neglect, resource exploitation, and forced disappearances. The federal government calls the militants terrorists. Locals say the anger is rooted in decades of injustice. The Pakistani military has launched large-scale counter-operations, but history shows force alone has never ended this conflict. Meanwhile, Pakistan's economy remains fragile. Inflation, IMF conditions, and political instability continue to fuel public anger across the country. Why this matters? Pakistan is fighting economic collapse and internal insurgency at the same time, a dangerous combination for any nuclear-armed state. The United States is again facing internal political dysfunction. Congress remains divided over budget funding, raising fears of another government shutdown or delayed federal payments. Millions of government workers could be affected if lawmakers fail to agree. At the same time, immigration enforcement, campus protests, and culture war politics continue to polarize society. President Trump claims diplomacy is ongoing with Iran, but critics say foreign policy messaging is inconsistent, adding uncertainty abroad and confusion at home. Why this matters? America's global leadership weakens when domestic governance stalls. Rivals are watching closely. After years of war, Ukraine and Russia are showing signs of exhaustion. Recent agreements to pause attacks on energy infrastructure suggest quiet pressure from global powers. Ukrainian civilians face energy shortages and economic strain, while Russia continues to manage sanctions and military costs. Peace talks are discussed, but trust remains extremely low. Myanmar's internal conflict continues largely ignored by the world. Fighting between the military junta and resistance groups has destroyed local economies, displaced civilians, and collapsed healthcare systems, especially affecting women and children. There is no political solution in sight, only deepening humanitarian crisis. Myanmar is becoming a permanent failed state risk in Southeast Asia. Thank you for watching AM Express News.